So we'll be looking at maximum and minimum point. So under maximum and minimum point, we need to note that anytime we had turning point is still the same thing as stationary point, and stationary point is still the same thing as local point. Local point is still the same thing as critical point. So what we need to know is that another thing we need to know, this what we see here, this change in y, that's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, this is called slope. This is formula for slope and is equal to, so we can say that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is still the same thing as dy over dx, and it's still the same thing as delta y over delta x, which is equal to 0. So when we have dy over dx to equal to 0, that's what we call stationary point. And you can see that stationary point is still the same thing as turning point, local point, and critical point. So it means at dy over dx equal to 0, that's your stationary point. So what we need to note is that at maximum, the square y over the x square is less than 0, and at minimum, the square y over the x square is greater than 0. This is negative, this is positive. So I'm going to make it more easier for us. So to make it more easier, looking at case 1, case 1 means the maximum of x is equal to small, is equal to the small. So and the maximum and the minimum of x is equal to large, so that the maximum of y is equal to large and the minimum of y is equal to small. So looking at example 1 now, we are told to determine so we want to find the maximum and minimum point of this function. So the first thing we need to do, we are going to differentiate this polynomial. When we differentiate it, so the y over the x will equal to, that will give us 3x square minus 12. That will give us 3x square minus 12. So at this point where we have 3x square minus 12, we know that the y over the x is equal to 0 at this point. That's our stationary point. That's stationary point. So that instead of using the y over the x, we replace it with 0. So we'll be having 3x square minus 12 equal to 0. So the next thing we are going to do is that I'm going to divide through by 3. So when we divide through by 3, let's see what we have. So dividing through by 3, so this 3 will cancel this. We have x squared minus 4 equal to 0. So we can see that this question here is talking about difference of two square. So that difference of two square says x square minus y square is equal to x minus y x plus y. This is difference of two square. So we can rewrite this expression also. So when we rewrite it, we know that this 4 is still the same thing as 2 having power of 2 equal to 0. So this is the same thing as difference of two square. So that will give us x minus 2 x plus 2, and that equal to 0. So when we solve this, we know x minus 2 equal to 0 or x plus 2 equal to 0. So that x equal to 2 here, and or x equal to minus 2 at this side. So the secret behind this maximum and minimum point is that this value of x here, we can see that this 2 is greater than minus 2 here. So for x here now, this is the value, this is the maximum of x. This is the maximum of x. X is greater here. So this maximum of x is going to be the one we are going to use to get the minimum of y. And this minimum of x, that's minimum minimum of x now is going to be the one to get that we are going to use to get the maximum of y. So let's take note of that. So and to get the maximum, the minimum of x now, so what we are going to do is that we are going to write the original expression, so which the original expression says y equal to x cube minus 12x plus 11. So what we just need to do is we can divide it into two by saying for x equal to 2 and for x equal to minus 2. So for x equal to 2, we are going to substitute the value into this. So for x equal to 2, we are having y equal to x squared minus 12x plus 11. Note, this is the maximum of x. Maximum of x, you are going to be using it to get the minimum. It's going to give you the minimum of y. Take note of that. So when we substitute, we'll be having y equal to, anywhere you see x, you replace it as 2. So that will give you 2 cube minus 12 into 2 plus 11. So that y will equal to, this will give us 8 minus 24 plus 11. 24 plus 11. So that when we simplify this, we'll be having minus 5. And this minus 5 is what we call the minimum of y. This is what we call the minimum of y. This one is the maximum of x. The maximum of x is 2. You can see we use the maximum of x, it will always give you the minimum of y. So for the minimum of x now, which means we'll be having y equal to x cubed minus 12x plus 11. So that when we substitute, this is when x equal to minus 2, and that will give us minus 2 cube minus 12 into minus 2 plus 11. So that we'll be having y equal to, this will give us minus, that will give us minus 8 then we have minus the minus plus 24 plus 11. So when we simplify this, we'll be having 27, and this is what we call the maximum of y. This is the maximum of y. So the secret is that anytime the maximum of x, we always, when you substitute the maximum of x into the original equation, it will give you the minimum of y. Then when you substitute the minimum of x into the original expression, it will give you the maximum of y. So that's for maximum and minimum points. So that's the meaning of what we have here. This square y, this is what we is talking about. That's the secret that I just gave you.